Well, good morning, guys and gals, children of all ages, and welcome to the news. You guys are ready for a jam-packed session, but before that, let's get to the weather. Fernando, what is the weather going to be like today?
Today is gonna be crazy hot.
Yep.
Like more than yesterday and before.
Yes.
Yes.
With a 20% chance of rain.
No. It's
Yes.
not raining.
No, there's 20% chance of rain today. I listened to the news polling in this morning.
Wait a minute. Listen. My watch says,
Your
don't worry
watch.
about it.
Oh, okay.
Hydrate it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot.
Sure.
Right now
we'll
it's 80.
We'll go with that. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely hot. Good morning, Car Gift. And yes, we are glad. No, we're not. But it's great to be back in the Bay. Not really, but over in Portugal, 80 degrees. Look at that.
Same.
Pizza Dave checking in. 53 over there where Pizza Dave is in Vermont. Wow, that's just like spectacular. I mean, wow. All right. So let's
Hello.
see. Hello. Let's see. 64, partly cloudy, and a chance of rain this afternoon in East Tennessee. Yep. See, there you go.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, what's up?
Sean.
Big Red in the house. Check it out. By the way, Orlando is 79 at the moment with a high of 93 expected. It's going to be a hot one. Stay hydrated, my friends. So
That's right. Yep.
All right, let's see what we got here. Hi from Western Australia.
Oh, nice.
And for those of you that are new to the show, this show is not about Q&A and answering questions about your car audio systems. This is just about news. We do two shows, one Monday, one Saturday, that are geared towards that. So if you would kindly request or save the questions for that, that would be cool. Just because
every Friday morning is just news, guys.
Just news.
That's it.
Morning, 48 in the upper Pacific Northwest with a high of 85. What a swing, man. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Springfield, Massachusetts checking in at 57 with a high of 67. Dang,
yeah.
That's spectacular. I heard that it's been a week of rain. Yeah, I was talking last night when I was with Hi-Fi. He's like, it has been raining all week.
It's been a week of pain. That's what it was.
Yeah, for sure. 50 in Northeast Ohio.
Very nice.
Good morning from Quebec. What's going on?
It's Quebec.
Quebec.
Oh, really?
Well,
I always thought that was Quebec.
It could be Quebec. It could be Quebec.
Montreal, Quebec.
It doesn't matter.
Good morning.
Because they will always correct you. But thank you for tuning in.
No, thank you.
Yeah, it's a cool place. 69, partly cloudy. In Hawaii.
It's morning.
Yeah, it's just blah 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 blah. Yeah, gonna have a rough day today for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, it's okay. No big deal. 65 in Detroit. Oh, it's also, and there we go. It's also going to be 65 in Michigan. The whole place is going to be 65 and sunny. That's actually pretty nice.
69?
65.
Oh, I don't know, man. I think in the 70s is.
No, I would take that.
65?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay.
That
cool.
Would be really nice. There you go. See, he clicked. Yeah, see?
Quebec.
Yeah, all we have to go by is the hockey teams. So, it's just what it is. Joseph Norton checking in. What's up?
Hey, Mr. SQ now.
Yep. 50 and rainy in PA.
York.
Oh, wow. He's up early. Good morning. Clear skies. Here's going to be a hot one today. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning there. Why are you up? Probably doing baby stuff.
Yeah. Totally get it.
Changing a clutch this afternoon.
Ooh.
Oh, that's gotta suck.
Love.
You're not a true installer, so you wake up in the morning ready to install. Okay.
I wake up in the morning.
I guess I'm not a true installer. Yeah, I'll forego that. We got a ton of news for you today. Missing a week. We have a bunch of new stuff to talk about.
A bunch
of stuff.
Wow.
bunches and bunches of stuff.
So
but
it's gonna
before
be
we
a
get to that,
2 hours.
no, it is not going to be 2 hours. It'll be exactly half hour. We'd like to thank CE Outlook, fine folks over at CE Outlook, for providing us with the news for us to steal and repopulate here. If you'd like to read more about the stories that we're going to talk about today, there are links in the description, so you can click over there. Of course, just check out CE Outlook. We don't cover all the stories because we don't want to, but if you'd like to see if there's something you might be interested, head over to CE Outlook and give it a whirl. Okay, with that in, let's get to our first big story. Our good friend Jason Digos has left his previous employer, which was MSC, and has joined his partner in crime, Mr. Matt Delgado. Got it right.
Got it.
So the team is back together again. We got Matt Delgado and Jason Digos heading over to Big Boss International Group. I'm curious to see how this all plays out. I got to be honest with you guys. The next 2 years could be so spectacular for Boss, as far as if they let these two guys do what they do best. Yeah. Boss could become a major player in the car audio scene as far as whatever it is they are creating. Both of these guys are pretty incredible dudes when it comes to motivating manufacturers to come out with some pretty cool products. So I'm interested to see how this all plays out. They are a powerhouse. Those two guys are what helped put MSC on the map, which is, for those of you guys who don't know what that's, Helix and Brax and whatnot.
Blam.
So, yeah. Not Blam. Well, yeah, they did Blam, but not yeah. Anyways. So it ought to be cool. Also, if you're into the creative space and you'd like to up your game and become a rock star, Mobile Solutions announces Hot Rod Build School. I believe there are still a few seats left in this one. It's June 8th through the 11th.
I think it's close.
It might be. I don't know. Yeah. But hey, if you're interested, check it out.
I think it
doesn't matter.
Out.
On the new product news, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get the next one. Get on the list. J Audio ships 2 new stealth boxes. It's funny because like stealth boxes are always like really amazing sounding, but they do definitely come with a hefty price tag. So you have the Tundra Crew Max as well as the Maverick are going to be what these 2 boxes are for. Pardon me. So if you guys have never seen one of these, where have you been? But the JL boxes are always pretty neat. They're made here in Florida. They're all hand built. So it is a pretty cool little box, but they do charge accordingly for them. Also, in new product news, Powerbase intros new high-end line. So being big fans of Powerbase, plug-and-play speakers and whatnot, they've come out with some very interesting products over the last couple months that we've seen come through the doors here, which are they sell loudspeakers, but they sell component sets of loudspeakers where you can get a 6-inch mid-range and a loudspeaker. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so hold on. It does not say. All right, so I'm trying to find the year here.
2022 and up. For
Crew Max and Ford and model years 2022 and newer. Yeah. It doesn't break them apart like as if they were. So it just says 2022 and up for both. So
I would highly recommend to call them.
I would just go to the website and check it out. But anyways, Powerbase is coming out with a whole new line of higher end products, which will be pretty neat. They're going to start out with some amplifiers. They have a bunch of amplifiers that they're coming out with. Of course, they have mono blocks, and then they have 4 channels. I believe they even have a 5-channel. So we'll have to wait and see if these guys now, they're all reasonably priced, somewhere between $350 to $800. Really, in the article, the only thing they talk about is the new 800.1. However, they're going to go all the way up to like $3K, because why would they not? I feel like you're supposed to. But anyways, if you're into that, it ought to be fun. Now, some of you guys are going to like this one. This is nostalgia, more MTX Terminator details. So for a while now, MTX has been deciding that they want to step back into the 12-volt. It's not like they've been gone. They've actually been doing quite well in the private sector, making things for other industries. They've been kind of, there's always been MTX products available here and there, but they've kind of lost the seriousness of it years back. Now they want to get back into it. And of course, why not bring back the MTX Terminator line, as popular as it was back in the day? It's kind of bummed because I expected it to be more red. Like, I feel like the Terminator, it was red or blue or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just goes for boring ass black. So good for them. Anyways, these are going to be these are going to be reasonably priced amplifiers. It's going to be a full lineup of products and is scheduled to start shipping here very soon. So if you're like, I want to get something, the nice thing is that it's still owned by the same company. So this is not a company that it's still owned by MyTech. It's not a company that was sold and they're putting their name on something. This is actually the company that was the manufacturer originally is still the same manufacturer today. They have not sold off their intellectual properties.
What they separate? Like,
what do you mean?
What I'm saying is, like, you say it used to be big, right?
Well,
like
no, MyTech had 3 brands. They had MTX, they had Acoustic, and they had someone's going to tell me the third one here is the one where it all oh god, what was the name of it? I didn't like it because he took the top off. I just called it an erector set. Anyways, dude, the 90s happened. The early 2000s came around when, when the economy tanked.
Mm-hmm.
You had to make money. So they went someplace else to make money. Why would you not? I mean,
no. I just
extant. Thank you, Sean. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Craig. See, I knew you guys wouldn't let me down. But no, so in those, it just,
happened.
It just happened. I mean, 2006, 2007 was a rough time, man. Like, it was a rough time for car audio. I mean, we would sit around for like days. I got really good at playing cards during that time.
Wow.
Doing nothing. It was amazing. We still got a paycheck. The reason why we probably still got a paycheck is that up till that point, money was rich. So, if you were smart, you had money in the bank and you could get through it. But, they went off and did other things. And they always have been there, but not like back then. I mean, Acoustic was like one of the first affordable brands of car audio.
So for example, it was MTX.
MTX was so MTX.
No, hang on.
Yes.
So MTX, Orion, Rockford, who else?
Precision Power.
So from all these, who's the one that's still relevant? Like still on in the top? Rockford? Just because?
Yeah, because back then Kicker didn't make amplifiers. They used linear power amplifiers. JL was just coming on the scene. They made subwoofers. They didn't start making amplifiers in China for a while. Yes, JL audio amplifiers were made in China. They've always been made in China.
What?
They did have a small batch that was made here in the U.S. by somebody else, but for the most part, they've been made in China. They were one of the first companies to go over and do that, of the big brands. No, I mean, like, if you look at the only one that's still owned, so, I mean, Kicker didn't count because, I guess they would because... I don't know. I just feel like... I mean, when you look at the manufacturers that are still available out there, they're owned by the same company. MyTech is still MyTech Group. He just finally passed away. The owner just finally passed away like a couple months back. Steve Irby is really it, man. Kicker is the only one that hasn't sold to somebody else.
Kicker is amazing.
So you got Kicker and MyTech Group are still...
owned by the same person.
Well, there again, I don't know the details behind MyTech Group, but he owned it up until he died, I guess. But yeah,
and I'm just thinking, because I haven't seen like MTX.
I'm with you on that. Bring back the Blue Thunder. That would be cool. That's what because I thought Terminators were red and Blue Thunders were obviously blue. We weren't a big MTX dealer. It was just one of those products that came through the door. Yes, so correct. I mean, of course, Josh being the JL fan extraordinaire. JL had their QC control in China for PCP board population. I mean, it's everyone's got that. Metra is still the OG. Metra is still owned by the.
What up, man? How you doing?
Metra is still owned by the same guys.
There you go.
They have not changed. Yeah. So And there you go. I have a set of extants right now. There you go. I just hated their amplifiers. Yeah. I hated the extant amplifiers. Not because they weren't amazing sounding. I hated installing them because you had to pull the top off. And my feeling is anytime you expose a circuit board, that's just asking for disaster, especially in an industry where we strip wires. Oh, yeah, you had Phoenix Gold. Plus, Phoenix Gold was back then.
Phoenix Gold, so, Clarion.
Well, yeah, but Clarion was a Japanese company, so that doesn't matter.
So just Phoenix Gold.
Yeah, Phoenix Gold. And, of course, Phoenix Gold was bought and consumed and dissolved by Ant Global, which is now just Stinger.
Yeah.
So
cool.
The Cyclone. And thanks for stopping in, Shane. Look at that beard. Look at that beard, man. Yeah. I know. He's crazy. Clarion was there again. One of the companies lost the time. JL Audio bought their license to Clarion Marine. So if you see Clarion Marine, that's a JL brand now, which is now a Garmin brand.
Sherwood.
Sherwood, yeah, I actually have the Sherwood amps over here on the wall.
Concord.
There again, Sherwood was a Chinese brand, so it wasn't a. That was your precursor, let's say, the Scars of the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I mean that it was a very,
what about
it was probably
Concord?
Japanese back then. There again, same thing.
Same.
The Concord was a Harman company. That was part of that group. And all these things have just been lost to the annals of time because, now it's why. I mean, honestly, why would you bring back one of those when you could just start your own company and not have to worry about the licensing? Sur Vega, yeah, that was a big brand back then. Now, of course, it's been accumulated and changed hands several times.
Right.
And who knows who owns what anymore? As far as that's weird when you had the companies like for example, like Audio Control being the latest, where you had a home division and a car division. Mm-hmm. And when Stinger bought them, they kept the home division for about a year, and then they spun that off to another company, bought it.
Yeah. So
now essentially you have two audio controls, which is very strange. So anyways, moving on with new product news. These guys were out at Knowledge Fest when we were there. It's Atato. Anyways,
see,
that's their name.
That's not a good name.
No, it's not. And so the promise was they were coming into the U.S. with their whole line of stuff. They're not hiding who they are. They're a Chinese manufacturer.
Yeah.
The Chinese guys were there, and they're like, hey, we make this stuff. And I got to be honest with you, now when you're looking at like the Pioneers, the entry-level Kenwoods, the entry-level Alpines, or actually all the Alpines, this stuff is coming straight off the boat with quality that's questionable. I'm curious to see.
I'm not.
A Toto.
A Toto.
I could go with a Toto. That works. Well, I'll go with that. But it'll be interesting to see. Yes, it sounds like a random brand you find on Amazon. And there again, I think they're just trying to go a different way. It's not to say that that's not what they are. I'm not endorsing them by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just curious as to see what it is they do. When they were at Knowledge Fest, we didn't get a chance to go over and talk with them, which I wish we would have, but it'll be interesting to see. So the reality is that, as we know, radio manufacture, putting radios in cars is getting harder and harder. And some of the big brands are not really getting into it as far as they're basically planned obsolescence, I think was the word we chose yesterday, where they're basically just winding down and failing miserably. So it'll be interesting to see if a brand like this becomes the next Kenwood or Pioneer or what Alpine, because I feel there is room in this industry now for things like this because let me know
what you want to test.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That was Lance. I knew there was somebody there, and Lance, we need to talk. I need to know more about these guys. But what I'm saying is that it'll be interesting to see. Let me just pull that up there for those that didn't see it. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the next 10 years. Are the Kenwoods, Pioneers, Alpines of the world, because they're not changing fast enough, going to go away? And a company like this will be on everyone's tongue. It'll be like Pioneer. It'll be, a Toto,
pushing crazy,
a Toto. Yeah. I have the new Toto 9750. I don't know. It'll be
They still have to change the name.
The name sucks for sure.
They still have to change.
Yeah, the name is sucky, but it'll be. I'm just curious to see if companies like this can come out with a quality product.
Yeah.
That sounds good, has longevity, doesn't feel cheap. Because a lot of the times that's the thing. Pictures just don't do the cheap feeling justice, you know. But I will say, like, some of these new radios we've touched are cheap shit.
Yeah, exactly. And they have a big name in there, so.
Yeah, and not to choose the right 4-letter word, but that's what they feel like. I mean, when you touch some of these things, you're like, man, this is garbage. This is garbage with an OS. I mean, so.
But we went to Knowledge Fest and you touched one of the big ones, and then their response was pretty great, right?
Yeah, that was Nakamichi, right? No, that was Boss.
That was Boss.
Was it Boss?
Yeah,
and it was either Nakamichi or Boss.
It
was Nakamichi.
Okay.
Because that was the one you could pull out and put back in, and it wouldn't crash and do all that.
Yeah.
So I do see a lot of Ototo installs Toyota forums due to price, and also that they are making Toyota radios. So when this hits or becomes whatever they're going to become, they are going to have plug and play Toyota radios. So that was Boss. I remember that video. Okay,
perfect.
See, there you go. Yeah. So, but there again, and just like we talked about Boss getting Jason Zigos, there is a lot of potential in this space for these companies to come up and kick the crap out of the current big five.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they are not responding to the industry fast enough. They're not giving us the products we're asking for, and they're not paying attention to anything we say. This is a common problem that we run into all the time when we're when we're talking to these manufacturers, us and other dealers, and we're like, hey, where is this? And they're like, yeah, don't even ask. What do you mean don't even ask? Don't tell me to don't even ask. I know what I need as a retailer, and I know what he needs as a retailer. And we're all asking for the same thing, and you're telling us don't even ask? Well, how does that work? I mean, it doesn't, because, you know, consumers want products. They ask us for products. We try to deliver on those products. So, you know, if a company like this or Boss or whoever comes in and they give us the products we want and they're reliable and they don't feel cheap and they work the way they're supposed to, and they'll you know, these guys are going to win every time, every single time, because that's what happens when you have you know, when you look at when you look at the globe and you look at brands in the globe, the one guy, like, where did this brand come from? It came out of nowhere, you know, and you're like, well, that's because they delivered on something that we were all asking for. Like, think of drinks, like power drinks, sports drinks, and sugar drinks. Yeah, you know, like Prime,
sugar daddies.
You know, like the Prime drink, like they came out of nowhere, and now it's like it's in Target, it's in Walmart, they have it in freaking Five Below.
But now they have like something in there that is not drinkable.
What do you mean?
Like, somebody came out with an article that
it's terrible.
Just trying to pull him out from the store because it's terrible. Yes.
Well, yeah, but but there again, they delivered on. It's always been terrible.
Yes.
So, I haven't heard you mention Linkswell. And there again, they fall into that same category. Yeah. Can't think of everything, man. It's early in the morning.
But no, but the same thing. You know, they just came out. I remember Linkswell when they came out, and it's like, oh my God, no, we never. And now they're improving.
Yeah, they're on 6.5, something like that, which I think is dumb how they do that. And I told them as much. Yeah, like, you got to stop doing that. But yeah, and there again, these are all things that moving forward will happen. Yeah. They're affordable enough to replace. So in there again, I really don't feel cheap people always buy cheap stuff. Okay. And that's fine. But we need expensive stuff. We need stuff that isn't cheap, and we need stuff that is of quality that people will pay for. Because if all the manufacturer makes is entry-level products, then that will never move the needle past that. So, you know, when you look at a big brand, they make good, better, best. You know, like when you look at like Rockford Kicker, at JL, all that, they all have entry-level stuff and they all have expensive stuff. So nothing is going to be affordable to replace. It just has to be cheaper than what it costs from the manufacturer, such as the car brand, to do it. And right now, I can tell you, replacing the factory radio in a car with a factory radio is very expensive, as we all know. Mm-hmm. So we need products that either. So when you replace something you own, you buy it because the piece you have is broken and you just want to replace it, or the piece you have is out of date and you want to replace it because you want the upgrades. The third one is the person like me that just buys it because it's cool. Okay, I just want it because it's cool. Yeah. You know, so but that person exists too. So you need price points for all those people, and you need quality products in all three of those steps, because you don't want to just have cheap crap out there that breaks after 6 months. But hey, it only cost me $200. So I'll just go buy another one. For sure. That's not a good business practice for anybody. So
no, and now the installation of installing a radio is more than what the radio is. So
I just noticed Carrie Underwood on there. Yeah, right. That is crazy. Yeah, that shouldn't be on there.
That's the selling point right there, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, to have a touchscreen doubled in that rivals the Sony GS9 would be killer. I think that would be too far. And I think Sony's figured that out. I mean, you got the 9500, which is really nice, a modern version of it. But the GS9 didn't sell very well. So, you know, that was way up here in the corner of very elite product lines. And don't get me wrong, you need the Halo product.
That radio is the same as, you know, your A30 or your 430 or your Brax. You know, they are the top of the line. Then not everyone is going to get it.
So you need to consider beginners who don't understand everything yet and shouldn't honestly have. Okay, so don't get me wrong. I mean, I started just like everybody else. And the one thing that I learned right away was that quality costs money. And I feel like as a society, we've kind of evolved into this, because no matter what you do, no matter what hobby you're in, no matter what you buy, there's always a good, better, best. And, you know, it's a learning experience for sure, but everything you buy reflects whether you buy in the cheap one or the expensive one. There is not a product category out there that doesn't have a good, better, best. People that want to buy cheap stuff will always buy cheap stuff. People that want to buy expensive stuff will always buy expensive stuff. Having to learn this lesson, you learn this at a very young age when you go to McDonald's and you buy a cheeseburger for 49 cents back in the day, which is now probably $2.49, and you go out to eat at a fine restaurant and you pay $15 on your first date with your girl for the same cheeseburger. And you're like, wow, this tastes a lot better than that little 49-cent burger. Car audio is no different. Cars are no different. So everything, whether you understand it or not, you understand that there is value in price. You know, you could go to Target and buy a set of tennis shoes for $20, probably now $35. I don't buy Target tennis shoes. Whereas you go buy a set of Nikes. How much does a set of Nikes go for now?
Around $200.
Exactly. So you know there's going to be some value there. So if you want to buy cheap stuff just so that you can play, I totally get it. Like Christian buys tons of crap and he buys expensive stuff and he buys cheap stuff, but he started buying affordable stuff so that he could just play with the stuff and learn. I'm fine with that technique. We all do that. But buying something because you think it's, you know, the good stuff and you got a deal, there is no such thing. That just doesn't happen, in my opinion. And that's the great thing about this show. But we do have 2 more stories that I want to get to real quick. SiriusXM is testing new lower prices. Does anybody feel that they need this? Like, let me ask you, if SiriusXM was $5,
I don't buy it.
Would you buy it? I wouldn't either. I mean, no. I'm curious what you guys think. Nike's garbage. Don't worry, I don't wear Nike either. My shoes cost my shoes that have nothing to them are stupid expensive. $5, you wouldn't do it?
No.
And it isn't $5. I actually didn't put a price on it. I think it's probably $10. $10 always seems to be the magic number on everything. Mm-hmm. They're trying to get younger people to buy into this with their new 360 because it has Pandora, it has all these stations.
Sure. Every single
kids like free.
Now the new generation, it's
Well, they
Apple
all.
Music.
Yeah, I was gonna say they all on Apple
Spotify,
Music or
SoundCloud, something like that. It's
yeah.
just
They
like,
will
no.
always find
Yeah.
the most inexpensive way to do things. I don't know. I just.
I mean, Haley has what?
She has Apple Music
Because you pay for it.
because she asked me to. Yeah, because I was paying for something, and she goes, "Well, if you're gonna pay for something, could you?"
Yeah,
could you do this?"
exactly. So,
So basically, who still uses Sirius? No idea. A few things never care about Sirius XM. I think their price point is what attract customers, in my opinion. There you go. Or turn people away. I mean, I'm
100%.
all
I agree.
Whoa, Siri. All Sirius XM needs is actual customer service. You're probably not wrong there. I used the app and she used the radio. It was $77 for the year. Mid-level. There you go. So that's actually quite affordable. And I feel like people will either find value in this or they won't. You know what I mean? Like there are certain people we have come in and they love SiriusXM. They're like Howard Stern fans, or they like the content it creates.
Yeah.
I mean, we pay for our content. It's just what are we willing to pay for it? To me, SiriusXM has never been appealing.
Same thing. Yeah.
That's not to say that one day it might not. It might be, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
I still think the phone app is the way to go.
Good morning, Eduardo.
Like I feel like you need that. I feel like the phone is where it's
Is
at.
the ideal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, Boston Mike says people don't want to pay. We'll use Spotify, Pandora for free. They won't pay $1 because it isn't a value to them.
Yeah.
There you go. There are a ton of streaming service now, which makes it hard to pay. 100%. And no, we have not recovered from the trip yet. So it's kind of sucks. All right. So that's cool. I kind of figured that's where we'd fall on that one. And then the last one is GM vehicles minus CarPlay and Android Auto. How's it going? So we reported on this last year that when the EV vehicles come out from GM, they're going to pull a Tesla and not include any of the CarPlay / Android Auto services. They're going to use their own. And so the cars have been out now for a while. They're trying to figure out. And the funny thing is it's gone exactly as expected in the sense that the salesmen don't realize that the cars don't have it. And the ones that do try not to talk about it. And if the question comes up, they will show them GM's new service that does have options for upgrade in-app purchases, because we all love in-app purchases now. So it's too soon to tell is basically what the story said. There's mixed emotions on it. Some customers don't even realize it until they get home and go, oh, crap, it doesn't have this. But as long as it has some navigation, they'll settle for it. To me, I really don't care whether it has CarPlay or Android Auto as long as I have access. Like in the Tesla, it has Apple Music, which is all I want. I just want to play my stuff, and I want it to tell me where I'm going. I feel the Tesla does a much better job at navigation than the phone does. As far as like just it's a real map. It's a real like everything.
And it's like 42 inches. So you can.
All right, here's the opposite of the Sirius XM. I use Sirius XM. This is Dougie Fresh. Almost every vehicle, especially the Jeep, because cell signal in the middle of the mountains doesn't happen.
100%.
He's a case in point. Yeah. So for him, it works
totally
fantastic.
Makes sense.
There's always got to be one guy.
Yeah.
You have to be Dougie. Just kidding. No, I'm not. That's it, guys. That's the news. Thank you so much for tuning in today.
I was just wondering, what kind of car was that?
What?
That one.
It's supposed to be a Bronco, but it doesn't look like a Bronco.
Chevy Bronco?
No, Blazer. It's supposed to be the Blazer.
I'm like, Chevy Bronco? That's a new thing?
So the Blazer, the new EV is the Blazer. So it's supposed to be that. And they've had nothing but problems with it since it's come out. So it looked like a Corvette, though. So
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't really care. Either way, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in. Tomorrow is Saturday for your Q&A. So if you got those stereo questions, make sure to tune in tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time here on this channel or any of the other places where our heads pop up. And, of course, if you have a question you're just dying to get answered, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We like to go live on Instagram, and after we talked about what's happening in the Bay, we'll answer as many questions as we can in the time that we have. So
thank you for tuning in.
You guys have a great weekend, a great Friday.
Bye.
Do your thing. See you.